Could it really be true that BTS's Taehyung confessed to feeling jealous of Jungkook and RM's emotional hug at the airport? What did he actually say in his Weverse Live that left fans crying and shaken? Stay until the end, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next shocking update from BTS's world. Could it truly be happening that Taehyung, the ever-composed and often playful member of BTS, revealed an unexpected wave of jealousy during his live on Weverse? Was it possible that the hug between RM and Jungkook at the airport, a moment already etched into the memories of ARMY for its raw emotion and overwhelming vulnerability, sparked something inside Taehyung that he could no longer keep to himself? Fans who tuned into his recent broadcast were not prepared for the confession that slipped past his lips, and what followed was an avalanche of tears, questions, and heartbreak across the fandom and his own quiet tone. Somewhere between teasing honesty and raw exposure, Taehyung admitted, "I was jealous when I saw them hugging." Those words, simple yet heavy, fell into the ears of millions who replayed them again and again, unable to shake off the shock. Jealous? From Taehyung, the member who is often seen laughing, joking, and supporting his brothers, suddenly letting the world peek into a flicker of vulnerability that had been hidden beneath his dazzling stage persona. The revelation felt like a crack in the perfect facade, a reminder that even idols, with all their glamour and poise, harbor emotions as tangled and complex as anyone else's. The moment RM and Jungkook embraced at the airport had already been a storm of emotions. RM, visibly struggling to contain his tears, buried himself in Jungkook's arms, and Jungkook, the youngest yet strong in that instant, became the pillar holding him up. ARMY across the globe shared clips, dissected the angle of every frame, and wept alongside them, feeling the weight of a farewell, a separation, or perhaps something unspoken between the two. Yet in the middle of this tidal wave of emotion, no one expected that Taehyung would later confess his feelings of envy watching from the sidelines. Was it truly jealousy in the way fans normally understand it, or was it a deeper yearning for closeness, a wish to be part of the exact kind of moment that seemed to break barriers between RM and Jungkook? Could it be that Taehyung, who so often finds himself expressing love in subtler, quieter gestures, longed for that same embrace, that same grounding connection in a moment where everything seemed to be shifting? His admission during the live created a whirlwind of interpretations, theories, and speculations that still ripple across ARMY spaces today. Fans flooded social media after the live, unable to contain their shock. Taehyung jealous? My heart broke when he said that. One wrote while another added, he deserves that hug too, he deserves that closeness. Hashtags exploded. Clips from the live spread like wildfire, and with every replay of his words, emotions grew heavier. Could it be that beneath Taehyung's radiant smile, he too was silently aching for the same comfort RM found in Jungkook's arms? Could the hug that made ARMY cry also have left a bruise on Taehyung's heart? The confession was not dramatic, not loud, not exaggerated. It was quiet, almost as if he didn't mean for it to carry the weight it did. Yet it was precisely that quietness that made it hit so hard. Fans sat with it, cried with it, and found themselves whispering the same question. How many times have these boys felt things they never spoke of? Things hidden away from the flashing cameras and roaring crowds? Taehyung, with just a single sentence, reminded the world that even the brightest stars are capable of longing, of loneliness, of wishing to be held. And so the hug at the airport, already a legend in itself, took on a new layer of meaning. It was no longer just about RM's tears or Jungkook's comforting strength. It was also about the unseen, the silent gaze of Taehyung watching, feeling, and carrying an unspoken ache that he later chose to bear to his fans. That bare honesty, that moment of vulnerability, is what shook ARMY to its core. Could this be why so many fans cried when he confessed? Was it because they saw themselves in him, in the ache of wanting to belong to a moment of comfort that wasn't theirs? The confession lingers like an unfinished story, an open wound, a question without an answer. Will RM or Jungkook ever speak of it? Will Taehyung revisit the topic? Or will it remain one of those rare glimpses into the complex emotional landscape that idols rarely let slip? For now, the moment is suspended, replayed endlessly in the hearts of fans who cannot help but ache alongside him. This is where the story grips tighter, where you as the reader, as the fan, as the witness are invited to step closer. What do you think Taehyung truly meant? Was it jealousy? Was it longing? Or was it simply an innocent remark magnified by the rawness of the moment? Drop your thoughts below, share your tears, your theories, your heartbreak. Hit the like button if your heart clenched hearing his words, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next piece of this unfolding emotional saga. Because in the end, one question refuses to fade. How can a single hug create so many ripples of love, pain, and yearning? Not just for RM and Jungkook, but for Taehyung, and for every fan who carries their story in their heart. Could it be that the silence between members holds as much weight as the words they share? That was the thought haunting fans after Taehyung's quiet but powerful confession. His words, almost whispered into the void of the live broadcast, left an impact no less striking than the hug itself. He didn't cry on screen, he didn't break down the way RM did at the airport, and yet somehow his subtle sentence reached into the hearts of millions, pulling at threads of emotion that fans didn't know could unravel so easily. What was it about this honesty that made ARMY weep even harder than before? Was it the realization that even the most confident, radiant star can ache for love, for closeness, for the simple warmth of arms wrapped tightly around him? The airport moment was already heavy with symbolism. RM, the leader who has carried the group through storms, letting go of his composure in Jungkook's embrace, became an image that defined the fragility behind strength. Jungkook, the golden magne, stepping into the role of comforter, showed the growth of a boy into a man. Fans saw layers of trust, love, and history in that hug. But what they did not see, what cameras could not capture, was Taehyung standing on the other side, watching. How did it feel to witness something so raw, so beautiful, yet so excluding? Did he feel like an outsider to a moment of intimacy that he, too, craved? And when he later spoke of jealousy, was it not only about envy but also about longing, to be held, to be chosen in that instant, to not just witness but partake in the healing? The fandom's reaction was unlike any other. Social media turned into a sea of heartbreak, clips of Taehyung's words replayed endlessly. Fans began to draw connections. The way Taehyung often reaches out with small gestures, the quiet way he lingers close to the members, the subtle longing in his eyes during group hugs. Could it be that he has always been the one who gives affection so freely but longs to receive it just as openly? He deserves that hug too, became a refrain whispered in countless comments, as if ARMY collectively wished they could wrap their arms around him in the way he clearly needed. Some even questioned if this was a rare glimpse into the pressures of being in a group where affection is shared yet never equally felt. 7 boys bound by years of memories, yet each one experiencing moments of closeness and distance in unique ways. Was Taehyung voicing what others had felt before but never said? Could his confession be the key to understanding the deeper, hidden dynamics between the members? Or was it simply an innocent remark, amplified by the weight of the airport scene, now magnified into something larger than life? The beauty of the confession lies in its ambiguity. Taehyung left no explanation, no elaboration, just the bare phrase, "I was jealous when I saw them hugging." That sentence became an open canvas for ARMY, painted with interpretations ranging from heartbreaking loneliness to playful honesty. Some fans insisted he was half joking, teasing in his usual mischievous tone, while others swore they saw something deeper in his eyes, something fragile. The truth may never be known, but isn't that what makes the moment so haunting? The not knowing, the endless replay of what if, the ache of interpreting something left unsaid. And so the hug at the airport transformed. It was no longer just a goodbye moment between RM and Jungkook. It became a triangle of emotions: RM's tears, Jungkook's strength, and Taehyung's silent longing. Each piece completed the story, and without Taehyung's confession, fans might never have realized how layered that single instant truly was. What looked like a hug between two became a mirror reflecting the heart of a third. And in that reflection, fans found themselves. Who hasn't felt that quiet jealousy? The ache of wanting to be included in a moment of intimacy you can only watch from afar. That is why ARMY cried, why the confession struck so deeply, because it wasn't just Taehyung's story, it was everyone's. The ripple effect is still unfolding. Clips of the hug now circulate with Taehyung's words layered in subtitles, changing their meaning entirely. Rewatching it, fans noticed the way Taehyung stood nearby, the way his eyes seemed to linger. Thank you.